Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Rodek Vitek linked with Scottish Premiership sides, and Amorim gives verdict on bringing Mazraoui to Milan. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Scottish clubs eye Rodek Vitek. After a brief loan spell with an Austrian club, Vitek spent last season on loan at Bristol City. He put in highly impressive performances in the EFL Championship and was regarded as one of the finest shot stoppers in the league. Manchester United hold Vitek's contract until 2028. However, for the sake of the player's continued regular game time, the Red Devils are reportedly open to letting him go this summer, either through a new loan deal or a permanent transfer. Celtic are showing serious interest in signing Manchester United's young goalkeeper, Rodek Vitek, during this summer transfer window. Celtic are currently actively looking for a new keeper following the retirement of Kasper Schmeichel. Manager Brendan Rodgers plans for the 22-year-old Czech keeper to provide fierce competition as well as act as cover for Vil Sinisalo between the sticks. Celtic are not alone in the race to sign Rodek Vitek. Their city rivals, Rangers, alongside newly promoted Premier League side, Hull City, are also reported to be very keen on bringing him in. With his towering height and sharp reflexes, Vitek is seen as having the modern profile that clubs desperately need. The decision now rests with the management to determine whether this young talent will be sold for financial gain or loaned out once more to further develop his potential. Ruben Amorim's take on signing Noussair Mazraoui for Milan. Surprising news has emerged from the Italian football scene regarding Milan's transfer plans under their brand new manager, Ruben Amorim. Reports from various Italian media outlets suggest that the Portuguese boss is highly keen on bringing in one of his former players. The man at the top of Amorim's wish list is none other than Manchester United's versatile defender, Noussair Mazraoui. This move is seen as part of Amorim's ambition to immediately strengthen the Rossoneri's backline in order to challenge at the very top of the table. Amorim's interest in Mazraoui is certainly not without good reason, given the player's incredible ability to play in multiple positions. Since joining Manchester United from Bayern Munich in 2024 for a transfer fee reaching £17 million, Mazraoui has clocked up 77 appearances across all competitions. His ability to perform equally well whether deployed as a right-back or a left-back makes him one of the most valuable assets in the squad. It is precisely this tactical flexibility that has reportedly led Amorim to ask the Milan board to keep a close eye on the player's situation. Although Mazraoui is among the favorite players highly admired by Amorim, the path to a transfer deal is predicted to be far from straightforward. As it stands, the manager has stressed that no formal talks have taken place between Milan and Manchester United. Neither club representatives nor the player's agent have opened official lines of communication to discuss a move to the San Siro. The current situation on the ground shows that this rumor remains a one-sided interest from Milan's new boss. Contractual, Manchester United are also in a very strong position to keep hold of the Moroccan international against interest from other clubs. The defender, who has now turned 28 years old, is still tied down to an official contract at Old Trafford until 2028. On top of that, the Red Devils hold a contract extension option that could trigger a further period of service down the line. With plenty of time left on his contract, Milan will undoubtedly have to dig deep into their pockets if they truly want to make Amorim's plan a reality. During his introductory press conference, Amorim openly admitted that he made a few mistakes during his time in charge of Manchester United. He found it difficult to explain the finer details of those mistakes because it involved the emotional context of his final adventure in the Premier League. Nevertheless, he made it clear that he has learned a lot of valuable lessons from every single error he made in the past. Amorim offered his apologies for not being able to give a proper farewell to all the loyal Manchester United supporters when his departure took place. Even so, he confessed that he still feels immensely proud to have had the great honor of leading a club as massive as United for a full year. For him, that past should remain a part of his growth as a professional football manager. Now, his main focus has completely shifted to writing a brand new and different history with Milan. The Portuguese manager believes that everyone learns from their life experiences, whether they are sweet or bitter. He is determined to change the things he did wrong at his former club so they do not happen again at the San Siro. Although there are some fundamental aspects of football that can never be changed, Amorim is optimistic that he will grow into a much better manager with Milan. The priceless experience gained from a competition as tight as the Premier League is now ready to be put to use to bring the Rossoneri back to the highest level. Regarding the Mazraoui transfer situation, in Amorim's eyes, Mazraoui is a highly intelligent modern footballer because he possesses an incredible understanding of tactics and a brilliant ability to read the game. The defender is seen as very adept at helping out with attacking plays, possesses high individual skill, and is incredibly solid when defending one-on-one. Amorim even used to believe that a player like Mazraoui was the future of the team because of his ability to control the tempo of the game and his calmness when in possession of the ball. It was this that made him incredibly happy to manage the defender at Manchester United. Amorim's deep interest in Mazraoui had actually been spotted since his days as the boss at Manchester United's Theatre of Dreams. Not long after being appointed as the Red Devils manager back then, Amorim repeatedly heaped praises on the player. Mazraoui, who had caught the world's attention with his brilliant performances for the Moroccan national team at the World Cup, was judged to have a complete set of qualities. The quality of play shown by Mazraoui on the pitch proved capable of winning Amorim's heart from their very first day working together. Apart from having incredible technical skills, Mazraoui's flexibility in positions was also the main reason why he was so crucial to Amorim's game plan. The Moroccan player is not only skilled at operating as a conventional right-back, but is also very comfortable when tasked with playing as a left-back or even tucked further inside to fill a role that drifts into midfield. His ability to adapt to various tactical roles gives Amorim more freedom in drawing up strategies and making formation changes during a match without losing the team's balance. In Amorim's eyes, Mazraoui is not just a tough defender, but rather a valuable tactical asset that makes Manchester United's gameplay much more lively and hard for opponents to predict. Manchester United attempt to negotiate fee for Carlos Baleba. Manchester United have reportedly rekindled their interest in signing Brighton and Hove Albion's talented young midfielder, Carlos Baleba. This strategic move comes following a deep evaluation by the Red Devils management team regarding their squad depth, which is deemed rather fragile in the holding midfield role. The departure of senior figures in the middle of the park has forced the club to act swiftly in search of a long-term solution. Baleba, who is just 22 years old, is seen as the ideal profile to fill that void, thanks to his remarkable physical presence and reading of the game. The Red Devils' interest in the Cameroon international is by no means a new fixture on their transfer radar. Since last summer, United's scouting team has been keeping a very close eye on the midfielder's rapid development. In fact, several internal reports suggested that United representatives had previously reached a verbal agreement over personal terms with the player's camp before the last transfer window shut. However, the deal ultimately fell through due to a significant difference in valuation between the two clubs regarding the player's market worth. The main stumbling block that previously caused Manchester United's hierarchy to pull back was the astronomical price tag slapped on him by Brighton. The Seagulls are renowned for being incredibly tough negotiators who refuse to let go of their prized assets on the cheap. Brighton were reported to have initially demanded a staggering £100 million, a figure that instantly made the Red Devils think twice. This asking price, deemed far too high, forced United to hold their horses in order to comply with strict financial sustainability rules. Now, Manchester United's strategy has shifted towards a more patient and tactical approach in the transfer market. The Old Trafford management have opted for a wait-and-see tactic while keeping tabs on the internal dynamics at Brighton and Hove Albion. The club have made it clear that they will not rush into launching an official bid until there is a strong indication that Brighton are willing to lower their financial demands. This strategy is deliberately being used to avoid the sort of reckless spending that has hit the club hard in recent years when chasing star players. Manchester United's hopes of securing a discount seem to be gaining ground as time goes on and market pressures mount. Recent reports from leading football journalists indicate that Brighton are beginning to soften their stance and lower their price expectations to help reshape their squad. Although the Seagulls are said to have dropped their demands to around £70 million, Manchester United reportedly still view this figure as too heavy a burden on their transfer budget. United remain optimistic that as the transfer deadline draws nearer, their negotiating team can drive that price down even further. The ultimate goal for the Manchester United camp is to secure Carlos Baleba's signature for a fee in the region of £50 million. This figure is seen as the most realistic benchmark, reflecting a fair market value for a young midfielder who is still developing his game. A budget of that size is judged unlikely to disrupt United's plans to strengthen other positions that also need fresh blood. Within the club, there is a strong belief that with the right payment structure and performance-related add-ons, Brighton will eventually give in. On the flip side, the player's own strong desire to make the move is one of the biggest trump cards currently held by the Manchester United hierarchy. Carlos Baleba is said to be incredibly keen on the prospect of wearing the famous Red Devils shirt and playing under the magical atmosphere of Old Trafford. While the midfielder is keeping things strictly professional by giving his all on the pitch for Brighton, his agent is quietly keeping the lines of communication open. Baleba's personal ambition to step up to a top European club is expected to be the deciding factor that forces Brighton to compromise. The urgency for Manchester United to bring in a new defensive-minded midfielder has reached a critical point and simply cannot be put off. The departure of Casemiro, which has left a massive hole, combined with the injury troubles plaguing Manuel Ugarte, means United's midfield looks incredibly thin for the upcoming season. Without a solid anchor to break up opposition attacks, United's backline will be left with far too much work to do. Balliba's arrival is expected to provide a sturdy shield for the defense while acting as the primary catalyst for moving the ball from the back to the lads up front. Right now, this transfer saga rests entirely in the hands of the negotiators from both clubs, who continue to play a game of chess behind the scenes. The Red Devils faithful will certainly be hoping that the club's management can act cannily this time around and avoid repeating the drawn-out transfer blunders of the past. If Manchester United can convince Brighton to lower their price to fit the available budget, then Balliba's transfer is expected to be wrapped up swiftly. The next few weeks will be absolutely crucial in seeing whether United's ambitious vision can become a reality. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.